I'm Madeline, or Maddie for short, I guess. I am a graduating senior. I am studying environmental studies, geography, and Spanish. I came in undecided. I had advising with Cross College Advising Services, and they steered me in the direction of business. And so I came in taking economics and thinking that I was going to do international business and pair it with Spanish, because the only thing that I knew for sure that I wanted to do was Spanish. So then I was kind of thinking of other majors that I could pair that with, and international business went well with that, I thought.
My name is Sam Scotland. I'm from Waunakee, Wisconsin. I am currently in my final semester studying communication sciences and disorders. When I first came to Madison, I was planning on doing computer science. I had taken a couple classes in high school.
My name is Lisa Johnson, and I am from Madison, Wisconsin, and I am majoring in interior architecture. So coming into college, my mom kind of pushed like, oh, business, like, not like, for lack of a better word, like safe, like you think everything involves business, which is like very true. And so I was like, maybe I should go more of a real estate route in the business school, because my grandma's a realtor. I love houses, like how could you go wrong? But I asked the SOAR person, like just out of curiosity, what, like, do you have anything with like interior, like with architecture? She said, well, we don't have an architecture program, but we do have an interior design program.
My dad works in business, but he never like pushed that on me or anything. My parents were actually really surprised when I came out of advising and said, oh, I'm doing business, because I think they kind of knew like, nope, that's not gonna fly for very long. I had no idea what I was gonna do with business. I had never taken a business class in high school. I think it was just being so uncertain, and then one of my advisors said, oh, a lot of people do some like international studies or international business stuff if they have a language. And so I was like, okay. And then I took an environmental studies class and I realized I want to do this. And so when I was a sophomore, I changed my majors to environmental studies and Spanish. And then I added in geography after that.
So I took an intro programming class. It was in Java was the programming language. And I did pretty well, but I was thinking about a future in computer science, and I decided that even if you're doing group projects, I didn't want to be sitting behind a computer for like days and days and days. So I just sat there and I pulled up like the online course guide, and I just went through every major one by one, looking at the intro classes, seeing what sounded interesting. And what I always kept coming back to were the classes that were working with people one-on-one, courses leading to occupations with that. And so the two things I picked out were rehabilitation psychology and special education, and communication sciences disorders.
And so that first year, I took the intro classes. Since you have like the 4 requirements to get to business school, you also have 4 class requirements to apply to the interior design program. And so I ended up taking all those classes in my freshman year, and by the end it was very obvious to me that I loved the interior architecture program. So I applied for it at the end of my freshman year, and I got in. But there was one class in particular, ME 160, which is architectural drawing, I think that was kind of a aha moment. It was like, this is how my brain works. Like, we had to, basically that class was learning how, it was about architectural drawing, and you're learning how to, you have to think in 3D while looking at a 2-dimensional piece of paper.
So in choosing my major, I'd say it was a lot of chance and just looking on the different websites that the school has, but there were a couple experiences that kind of led me to being interested in that once I was on those websites. There was one time in high school, it was a Physics 2 class, and we had to go to an elementary school and teach a lesson in physics. And we were doing this, like teaching them about flight, but it was basically just playing with paper airplanes for an hour. And there was this one kid, we were kind of doing just like free build your airplane, so we'll have a competition. And the teacher had stepped out of the room, and there was this one child with autism who was sitting there crying alone. And I noticed my other group members were busy helping other kids, so I went over and I started talking to him. And he was upset because he had to leave and go meet with another teacher in the middle of the class. And so he was upset he wasn't going to do the competition. And so I just talked to him a while and tried to calm him down. I told him, no, it's okay, this is just a fun thing, and we're just going to build airplanes, and if you don't get to stay the whole time, that's fine. You can just take your airplanes with you or do it later. And so helping him kind of deal with that little stressful moment was really gratifying to me. And so that definitely influenced me when I was searching for courses later. I think the main thing that led me to this major, and what excites me the most, is working with people one-on-one, day in and day out. I'm especially interested in working with children one-on-one. I've been doing it for about a year now, working at a clinic with children with autism, and it's more days than not, it's just total fun all day long. Like I hardly consider it a job most days. I don't even think of it as one, really. So if that's what I could do for the rest of like my working life, that's the goal for me.
And then of course you hit your like teenage years, and you're like, the big thing is like you need to redo your room. And so I was like, I had a plan. I did all the research for it. Like I even like basically like mocked up my room like with little pieces of paper, and so like I cut out like a bed that was like, this is like to scale. Like I think back to this, I was like, that was pretty amazing that I figured out how to make my bedroom to scale on a piece of paper like in my early teens. And I would, because that's kind of it's part of what we do today.
I think I would tell myself as an undecided freshman to really take advantage of your advisors, because they're there to help you. They get paid to do that. And I wish I would have done that more as a freshman. So definitely just don't be afraid to talk to your advisors and explore all different options. You don't need to know what you're doing right away, and you'll figure it out. I've known people that didn't know what they wanted to do until they were juniors, and they're gonna have an extra semester or maybe year of class, but they finally found what they wanted to do, and they're passionate about it, and it totally changed like their whole outlook on life even.
When you're doing something, like for me, even to this day, when I'm doing something like and it feels right, you're like, okay, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Like, this is a good feeling. Like, just keep going in this direction, and like you'll know, like when you're taking courses that like you don't have a passion for, you know you will not have a passion for. You'll hate it.
But as for whenever I talk to when I would talk to like students under me from my high school about college or cousins or whatever. I just try to convey a sense of like calm and be like, it's okay, like you have time to figure it out. You don't have to know right away, and if you just keep an open mind and search for classes that interest you or are outside of your comfort zone, you'll find something you enjoy.